My name is Evan Preston from EMFX.
My name is Jake Parrish from EMFX, and this is
This Week in Geek.
that weekly internet show where we cover everything from movies to video games to music to anything geek and pop culture. We're going to go through the news and tell you, the viewer, what is the most important. Now, how should we get started today? Because we got some cool stuff today. It's been a busy week. It's been chill-ish, but there's still been some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Let's start with movies. You know, every year, like it hits that time, the summertime, where movies just keep rolling with bangers.
They don't stop.
They don't stop, right? We had Mission Impossible last week, and now here coming up we have Karate Kid Legends. Ooh. So, you know, I was a big fan of Karate Kid back in the day, growing up on that stuff. You know, I saw the.
You see the remake?
I saw the Jaden Smith.
Yeah, I saw the Jaden Smith one in theaters.
Me too. I saw it with my mom, I think.
He got his beat that whole movie.
Yeah. And you know, it was a good movie, but now
this is special. This is because you got Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
this is the original cast.
It's crazy, and you know, Cobra Kai has just kind of wrapped, and so this is like it's almost like the end game version of Karate Kid, right? Because you're bringing in you know, two different kind of generations of Karate Kid, and wrapping it all into one pretty little bow. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it's like, but I'm excited to watch it.
I am too. Usually the Karate Kid franchise has some really cool stuff, and I've heard they're kind of going in a different direction in this movie, at least stylistically. They're kind of taking some stuff from like old school Hong Kong action movies, which, I mean,
dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. That's a great place to take from. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly.
What else we got?
Well, I mean, if you've been living under a rock, you might not know, but the Lilo and Stitch live-action remake is out. Very mixed reviews.
Yeah, critics are not huge. I think it's like 65, 60 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is higher than a lot of the live-action Disney.
That's true.
But it's still pretty low, and Rotten Tomatoes are usually pretty nice.
They can be. You know, Rotten Tomatoes confuses me sometimes, though, because, I mean, like, you know, you'll have some movies that are genuinely good in the 30s, and then some movies that are horrible in the 80s.
It's a mystery. It really is a mystery. But, you know what's not a mystery? The box office. $421 million. Is that a week?
That's crazy.
What the heck?
I know. It has not been out long. It has so much money.
It's just skyrocketed. It already beat Thunderbolts.
I mean,
it already beat Thunderbolts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
It already beat Sinners.
That's actually
nuts.
That's what is
because like
crazy.
Sinners is like massive, huge movie. Made a ton of music, domestically made a ton of noise. Granted, way lower budget than this, but I'm not a big fan of the idea of remaking movies. I think we have to face the inevitable. It's Disney. They're an unstoppable children's entertainment juggernaut.
They are. I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
I will say that they can run a sweet cruise. Get a chance, go on a Disney cruise. They're awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But I've heard, you know, let's not get into too much spoiler territory, but I have heard there has been a change.
A lot of changes. A lot of changes were made.
Lilo and Stitch.
Change with the ending.
Yeah, I've heard the ending is a little.
I don't want to say it, but it is not popular. It's not a popular choice. They also changed the villain. They changed a couple things. So a lot of like the fans, like me, I love Lilo and Stitch. It's maybe my favorite Disney movie. They did not do a great job. But the goal was to make money. So
and, hey, they succeeded, right?
Now let's talk about something that is less guaranteed to make money. Alex Garland. He's been making a lot of noise recently. It's Civil War last year. It's Warfare this year. And he has just been tapped by the film universe to direct an A24-produced Elden Ring film.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, Elden Ring, I think 2022, maybe 2023. Gangbusters. Incredible video game. Tons of noise. Put from software from, like, an amazing developer to one of, like, the top 5 most important developers working today.
Yeah.
It was the most praise I've seen for a video game in years. I have at least 70 hours on it.
I mean, I remember the first time we played it in our college dorm.
It was literally stunning. We couldn't talk.
Yeah,
But
we
it
couldn't.
was so good, we
Oh
were
well,
speechless.
we could talk when we were so angry at dying
It's a
for the
hard game.
millionth time.
It's a hard game.
I mean, you know, I eventually had to just put down the controller and just watch you play because I was notoriously bad at that
this
game.
Souls-like games are not your friend.
No, they're
Your
not.
friend.
I mean,
but honestly, the reaction has been mixed from the Elden Ring community. Not a lot of people are super excited about both it becoming a film and Alex Gardner doing it. I think he's a fantastic choice. I think it is a perfect choice. If you haven't seen, I mean, he worked on Dread. He wrote The Beach, which is a book. He wrote 28 Days Later. He wrote part of Devil May Cry, the remake. He wrote Ex Machina. He wrote Annihilation. He directed Annihilation. He directed Ex Machina. He wrote and directed Civil War. Say what you will. It's controversial, but he has a ridiculous track record of making good on material, making good on interesting ideas. And I dug through a Reddit MMA. He has played Elden Ring. In fact, he loves the DLC. Here's a quote from him. Love Shadow of the Erd Tree. I'm on new game 6, which means he has beaten the game 7 times. Don't even want to think about the hours I've clocked up. Can't seem to stop playing. Still discovering stuff.
I mean, that's got to be like 1,000 hours.
I mean, you're looking at several hundred hours.
That's
and
insane.
with the Elden Ring themes of decay, greed, the effects of a civilization trying to maintain a failing empire, all of that screams Alex Gardner to me.
Yeah.
He's so interesting and able to pick apart like social dynamics and dilemmas and really get into them. And now we're going to see that in the Elden Ring universe. I'm excited. I think it could be really interesting.
Me too.
But let's shift topic. Let's talk more about what I think Elden Ring is a great transition point. Let's talk more about traditional video games today. And we have some more terrible EA news.
Yeah. Man, one week after another.
We'll have something great.
Oh
one week will be like EA gave a bunch of kittens out to developers.
Yeah. So I don't know if some of you were aware, but EA was making a Black Panther video game. Now, this is not to be confused with the Black Panther and Captain America game.
Yeah,
I think that's Rise of Hydra.
Yeah. Still slated, I think, quarter 1, 2026.
Yes. But we are going to talk about the Black Panther game. It has been canceled.
Wow.
No.
Like straight canceled?
Yeah, it's done. Like it's canned. So
that's rough. That is.
It's very rough. I mean, like I'm starting to really feel for I mean the Black Panther community because I mean Chadwick, you know, rest in peace. Obviously, it's very devastating losing him and now, you know, like this is brutal, but there is hope, right? We have Rise of Hydra coming along, and that should be a good video game. So yeah, there's hope there.
It just seems like they're panicking, man. Tons of
EA.
reorganization efforts, shuttering studios. They shut down the studio that's supposed to make this cliffhanger games. That's brutal. I really feel for them. But let's move on to more gaming controversy because, you know, the gaming world is never peaceful for very long unless you're an indie developer. And even then, it's not great. But let's talk about past Halo dev Bungie and their latest franchise, Marathon. They made the first 3 marathons. They're some of the early first-person shooters, really cool. And now that they're trying to move on from Bungie too, this is their next project, and it's an extraction shooter, and it has not. It's been messy. Firstly, the game was caught with poor reception during the alpha testing. Not a lot of people liked. There's not enough gameplay variety and content because they're launching with 6 characters and 3 maps at launch.
What?
It's a hero-based extraction shooter with 6 heroes. Could you imagine if Marvel Rivals launched with Captain America, Iron Man, Groot, Invisible Woman, Jeff, and Scarlet Witch?
And that's it.
And that's it. And more news, continuing the marathon, there are unsavory comparisons to Sony's live service disaster Concord, which launched and unlaunched in 2024, where they shut the whole thing down and gave refunds to players. And Marathon has also been caught lifting assets from fans. Artist Anti-Real had their art lifted from posters they had created and placed directly into the design of Bungie. And Bungie actually had to respond, confirm, apologize, and go through all of the textures and make sure there's nothing stolen. And now, even more news. A report from Sony claims that they have canceled all paid marketing plans for Marathon. This information comes from Colin Morty, who shared the news in his latest paywalled episode of the Sacred Symbols podcast, and it reportedly came from somewhere familiar with the marketing effort in the overseas market, and is considered a fairly unusual move for a game of this high profile. That I really would agree with, especially this late in the game. It's slated to launch in September.
Jeez.
And I got this from the game post, Zuhad Ali. That was their writing, so shout out Zuhad Ali for that. This is bad. This is really bad. Concord failed last year completely. They shut down production of the other live services from the Last of Us universe. Sony has been banking on their live service games, and none of them have released, much less been successful.
Yeah,
This is rough.
Everybody wants to make a live service game, but what do we always talk about?
There's one Fortnite.
There's only one Fortnite.
You can't make Fortnite again. Like, how are you going to compete with this? It's on my phone. I can play Fortnite wherever I want.
Yeah,
it's got General Grievous and Sabrina Carpenter.
What more? I know.
What do you do?
That's what.
And it's like Roblox now, where you can make your own games and upload them in them using like the creator tools.
Yeah, right. Yeah, through Unreal Engine.
Epic has capitalized so well on Fortnite, and that's what everybody wants to do. But I guess Sony is gonna have to learn the hard way. This isn't gonna work, and I'm really worried about the future of Bungie.
Oh my gosh,
really
Bungie! I mean,
because this does not look good on them.
They hold a.
Been caught in a mire of controversy, including lawsuits.
Oh
and
yeah.
Here we are. I don't know.
I mean, I cannot believe the dev. I mean Halo, man.
They made Halo,
right?
But
like
the people who made Halo are not in Bungie anymore.
True.
That is what we have to realize, and this is becoming immediately obvious. Because I don't think the people who made Halo would do this. And I'm sorry. I'm not paying $40 for a multiplayer only game in the year of our Lord 2025. No.
I was about to say, this sounds like a mobile game that I wouldn't even download.
Like,
I'm sorry, and I apologize to the devs who worked on it, but
none of this is interesting to me.
It's not interesting.
And the real problem is, if you want to compete in the extraction shooter space, you have to do better than Helldivers 2, and that game rules.
Yeah.
And it's already got a complete market. That's Sony too. I don't want this game to bomb. I would like it to do well.
Right.
I think Bungie deserves the W. I'm really worried.
Yeah.
This looks like another Concord to me, and that's not good. Side note, if you noticed, Fortnite is back on your phone. That used to not be the case. Apple just lost a big lawsuit. Now it's forced to be on there again. In fact, Apple can also no longer take revenue from Fortnite for in-app purchases. That's what the whole lawsuit was.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
So that's going to change a lot of stuff. And I got one more thing on video games today. This is pretty disappointing for me, avid fighting game player. NetherRealm has ceased support of Mortal Kombat 1. Came out in 2023 in September. And I know a lot of you may be thinking that's a long time for a game. Not fighting games.
Not fighting games.
Fighting games need to be supported for a long time. Look at Super Smash Brothers. Man, when did Ultimate come out? 2017, 2016? It's still popular. They still play it just as much.
Yeah.
And the community has been in shambles for years because there's been no updates, so the meta is ruined. So they're stuck with this terrible meta. So that's what they're doing here. Instead of trying to fix a game, trying to fix some of the mechanics that the fans didn't like the assist mechanics or some of the sloppy combos, they're just walking away.
Yeah, it's really weird. And, I mean, a lot of people are, going to ask, well, does that mean, Injustice 3 trailer dropped? Well, no.
Probably not.
And
knowing NetherRealm, they are probably just starting right now on production. They're a studio that really likes to go from project to project. And for me, that's made it hard to support them. Because why would I pay $70 for Mortal Kombat 1 and I'm not huge on the mechanics and the characters, and then I can play it for a year and a half online, and then I'm stuck with that meta? They're never going to update it again. They're not going to make another character. And, I mean, who knows how long they'll keep the servers on?
Yeah, that's the big question.
That's the big question. We don't know that yet. They usually have a pretty good track record of keeping the servers on for a long time. That is a good thing about NetherRealms. But I don't understand why they're just leaving. You could have a skeleton crew at least on the dev team and, release balance patches and stuff like that. I'm not asking for more characters. If they're done with characters, that's fine. But at least a balance patch once in a while, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too much to ask for. You got players paying $70 out here for a game that you finished last year that came out 2 years ago. You gonna leave them to dry? I don't know.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
It's upsetting, but
Let's talk about a good news of a game that's actually starting development.
let's do it.
Dude, Cyberpunk 2077 sequel.
Dude, Cyberpunk
Thank
2, they're doing it.
God. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so excited.
So you know, I tried to get you to play Cyberpunk for years. You eventually did, and you loved it. You
It took me
loved
a
it.
while. I didn't have a PC. I only had a PS4. Playing it on PS4 is not a great idea.
Right.
It launched not great, but this is a comeback story on the level of No Man's Sky.
Oh my gosh.
Like-
Wait, like higher than that. I mean,
I don't know. No Man's Sky is really, really good. They changed everything. And
I understand that.
Okay,
I
okay.
understand
I'm
that.
listening.
But I mean, Cyberpunk was so bad at first. And I mean, I know so was No Man's Sky.
Different type of bad,
but-
though. Like, it didn't work at launch.
It didn't work.
Like, at least
I
No
mean,
Man's Sky ran.
Yeah.
Like, you could play it.
I could not get Cyberpunk to run at all.
I remember. You were
It
mad.
was I was pretty frustrated, yeah, because of the promises that were given and everything that was shown. But now it has one of the biggest fan bases ever.
Yeah.
Ever. There's an anime out about it, and I mean, like, people are making short films and doing
Rave reviews on the anime too. People loved it. People who weren't even familiar with the Cyberpunk. In fact, I know that show put a lot of people onto the game,
It did.
and that's
It did.
pretty cool.
I loved the show. I cried watching the show.
I've not seen it, but I really, really want to.
You need to. And
And it's so that world is so good. The
It is.
storytelling in that game is CD Projekt Red.
oh my gosh,
Kind of enough said.
yeah.
Like, kind of enough said. I'm really excited for the new Witcher 2.
Yeah, I know.
Witcher 3. So good.
Witcher 3 was so good.
Like, it's
I
so
know.
good. Like, it gets me excited talking about it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I think CD Projekt Red 2, they learn from their mistakes. They've seriously learned from them.
Yeah,
And I think
I think they
Yeah.
I think they will, right? Because I mean they were honestly one of the developers that really gained my respect through all the hard times, right? Because they went to work to fix their mistakes.
yeah, and they admitted it.
They admitted
They
it. Yeah,
admitted that they
absolutely.
messed up. I really appreciated that. It's very rare for any studio to admit they've made a mistake,
Right.
much less walk back and try to fix them.
And they made one of the best games ever made.
I would agree. I have it in my top 10 personally right now.
Yeah.
For me, it scratches like every itch I want in a video game. It's got the combat. It's got the story. I mean, the romance options alone.
Romance
I'm
is
not
good.
even a big romance guy. And I got some butterflies, man.
I know, right?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
story about struggle and banding together in a world that is just dark and corrupt.
I know.
And
World that'll eat you up.
it's going to eat you up, but you can survive. It's classic. It's
Yeah.
found family.
Hey, my dad has started playing it, by the way.
See? That's how good this game is. People's dads are playing it.
People's
And
dads are
I
playing
know
it.
they've officially launched pre-production, and they are calling it Cyberpunk 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Cyberpunk 2.
Cyberpunk 2.
Huh.
I'm pretty into it. I think it's sick.
Yeah, because I feel like they call it Cyberpunk 2077 2.
So it's like, wait, how far in the future is it?
Right.
It's really far if it's 2077 2.
Yeah.
Like, are we even organisms at that point? Or are we just like the primordial goo again? What are the
Oh
first
my
person shooting
gosh.
mechanics for the primordial goo? I don't know. Who knows?
You just, I
New
guess
indie
you
game.
shoot,
I have to
shoot
work
your
on
own
it.
goo
Future.
out of. Yeah, then let's just move on.
You know what? I think we can cut it there, actually. I think that's all we got today. Do you have anything else?
I don't, everybody.
All right. Well, this has been This Week in Geek. Thanks for watching so much. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next week with more exciting gaming news, movie news, music news. Who knows? See you next week.
All right, see you guys.
Bye-bye.